Grand Rising, my brother.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us on the Humblest Opinion. I'm your host, Tony Bahama. And we, of course, have co-host, Mr. Malik Adegamba. Today on the Humblest Opinion, we go around, the gamut, or we run the gamut, basically, of talking, giving our introspective views on some of the things that are happening around you. Before we get into that, our disclaimer states that the Humblest Opinion is brought to you by AB2C Broadcasting, B Caribbean TV, and Professional Renaissance Protection Services. We are 100% non-liable for any ideas, thoughts, emissions, you know, um, subsequent ideas, disseminations, anything of that nature on our platform because it is brought to you by an at-will platform. You have the right. You have the right to exercise your right to watch and or not watch. So we are 0% liable. You are 100% liable. You don't like what's being said. You're a closet racist. I don't know. Whatever you are. If it bothers you, you have the right to change. Change the channel. Click off and watch something else. But again, again, always great to have you. Please, we had Dr. Umar. The Prince of Pan Africanists.
Yes, the Prince of Pan Africanists.
The preeminent, most consistent speaker of, one of them at least in our day or of our time of Caribbean, African instances and things. His was on recently on the Breakfast Club show out in New York. I guess people thought some of his ideas would change. I don't know.
I don't know why.
But again, what's your thoughts? What you think?
Well, I mean, mad respect for the brother. Definitely looking forward to the show with him. At some point. He is, as you said, the most requested Black speaker of our time, and I'm hoping that if he does not be the one in the forefront to change the way, that he will definitely ignite the mind, and will do so.
Yeah.
They covered a number of topics. He always has a whole lot of information, powerful information, and trying to change the mindset reshape the mindset of our indoctrinated people. So
untangle. Trying to untangle. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the issues, we're gonna go through it point by point, some of it. One of the issues that he spoke on, we was the issue of I guess homosexuality. He went on that, talked about the president, Joe Biden, and his the lack of respect that he's basically showing Black people. The being a politician. Hey, thank you, got your vote, haha, bye bye now.
Yep.
Nothing else.
I'm out.
Nothing. Yep. I'm out. Thank you. Oh, that was great. That was cool. But that's basically one of the ones that he pulls on him. So, that's what's going on.
The point on Joe Biden and the LGBTQ, they're actually basically one and the same agenda.
Yeah.
He has pushed to sort out the transgender and more LGBTQ rights, just as his former leader Obama did. They're all about the gays and making everyone as queer as they possibly can, and protecting those who want to be just that. All right. I've seen some questionable videos with the current president, my brother, and you know, I mean, in my humble opinion, he on the team, yeah, of
Some
one of
shit make you
those,
raise your eyebrow, right?
of at least one of those, of at least one of those, yeah,
Some shit make
man.
you raise your eyebrow, like, hold on, what? Oh,
Yes,
what?
yes,
What?
yes, yes. People that see like they don't see these days. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we my thing is okay, cool. And honestly, if you are in 2021 and you care about these politicians, you care about these parties, you were lost. You are really
Yep,
lost because
really,
guess who they do not care about? You.
you
They don't care about
don't
you.
give a damn about you.
They
Don't
don't
give
care
a
about
damn
you.
about
They,
you.
think. This, thought hit me today while I was thinking about this. How does Donald Trump pass sweeping legislation that goes into effect immediately, like right now, executive order. Look, stop this boat, stop this America. This is what's going to happen now. Executive order number 300,000 of them. I don't even know how much he made of them. Nobody even knows. It's probably still finding out stuff. He says sweeping. This is how it's going to happen, and doesn't care about anybody's thoughts, or you don't like it, or you don't. Oh well, I don't agree with that. Okay, cool. Well, fine, leave. That's basically what he did. But Biden is trying to bridge the aisles and bring groups of people together. You know what? How?
I don't understand what groups of people he's trying to bring together when, as bad as people speak about Trump, um, there was no discussions of any wars during his time. But now we're on the verge of World War III suddenly again. Now that
Yeah,
we got a new person. Listen, man. I mean, you gotta see it for what it is. Everyone, okay. This is what we need to understand. Every political group, every political head has an agenda because they're backed by people with agendas.
yeah,
So if if the person who is in the forefront is not about war, that's because the people who are funding them, who are financing them, who they are in league with, are not interested in that. You
yeah,
understand me? It's obvious that the LGBTQ, the people who are those people who are pedophiles, these individuals who are higher up. When you saw what happened under Obama, now the same thing is happening under Biden. So obviously those same people are now back behind the person who's in the forefront leading. So you can see the agenda. When they're
yeah.
speaking, they are puppets. That's what they are. They're puppets. All right.
My
So
question
they it will
is,
come.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Let me sing. Go
No,
ahead.
yeah, my the point. I mean, the point at the end of the day is that whatever it is that they're saying, it's not theirs. Okay, so
Right,
don't focus don't focus on that. Focus on the information that's coming out, so you can understand exactly what's taking place.
right. My question is, do you really think the people that actually run the place, you get to vote on them? No, you don't. You don't get to vote. So if I got $1 billion, let's just say, you think I'm going to allow everybody to get $1 billion? That's how these people think.
Hell no,
Exactly. And then,
because because then I'm no longer special.
exactly. Exactly. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, I mean, come on. You think I'm gonna allow everybody to kind of have some type of thought process or some input or some say so on what I'm doing? Come on, you don't get to vote. That if I have to be the cordial billionaire, which by the way, I've seen cordial and happy millionaires, but
Yeah,
I haven't really seen too much cordial and happy billionaires. A lot of them don't give a shit about people's opinion. They just don't. They don't care, and they don't have to care. Because that's who they are. That's who they are. So, But another thing Dr. Umar said was basically, they asked him a few questions about interracial marriage, which, I mean, first and foremost, before people start their engines, he gave factual understandings and references as to why he does not support and why he does not believe in it. So, one of the reasons was, look, the black community is in turmoil. Why would you attempt to step outside of it if you really have its best interests at heart? You know, that's one of them. Secondly, people are trying to avoid or stay away or get out of that which is their own premises, their own way. Some, namely white people. They know what they've done. They've seen what they've done onto this earth and to black people, and they feel some kind of way about it. So, what's the best place to hide? Inside the womb of a black woman. Make
Yeah,
it's classic. It's a classic ploy. But again, my thoughts.
yeah, man. I agree 100%. You know, this is what has taken place. This is why we are where we are, and this is their means of trying to stop the revolt that they always knew was going to come at some point. They
Yeah,
they 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 knew at some point that a revolt is going to have to come because of all of what they've done against the people. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
at some point, it's okay. Those who are in charge have descended from or have studied those who were in charge before. They know
definitely.
what was done to get here. They try their best to cover it up or to downplay it as much as they can. But they are afraid that when they go to bed one night, they're not going to wake up. Okay, or when they walk the street, yeah, that's just being real. Or when they walk the street, that a bullet is going to go through their brain. That's what they expect. Okay, they're always concerned about those things, so they put things in place to try their best to stop those things from taking place. One of the
Yeah,
main ways to do that is to destroy the black man completely. How do you destroy the black man completely? You go and you create mixed race that is going to defend the oppressor. Because if my mother's white, your father's black, you coming for my mother, I'm going to defend her. That's my mother. That's
right,
automatic. Okay.
right.
There are very few instances where we have the children actually go and deal with the parents like the Menendez brothers. You know what I mean? There are very few instances where we have those kinds of situations. Okay. And for the most part, they feel it's warranted because of things that were done. Sometimes it is, and a lot of times it's just you being too strict or whatever. But the fact of the matter still remains that as long as we are able to do the mixed situation, they have to now choose. And when they choose, they're going to try to please both. But if the war erupts, they're not going to say, hey, let's push mommy or daddy outside, okay, and live
Yeah,
our lives. No, they're going to rise up and defend, whether it's verbally or physically. So that's the thing now. All right, to try to, one, water down the DNA. Okay, just water it down. But two, you're no longer identifying as, because here it is. We had who was the Cohen? Uh,
it's a
Tiger
lot of
Woods.
them. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
no,
them.
no, yeah, 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 no, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're gonna get
no,
to that
no, that's why,
actually.
no, 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 that's why it took me a minute to remember, because man, you have to be scrolling. It's like you're mentally scrolling. You sliding, you
Right.
mentally sliding. Okay, right.
Which school said this or said
Yes, yeah,
that
yeah,
or
yeah, yes, for this particular situation here. But here it is now. You're talking about somebody who's identifying with like 15 different type of people, to avoid being
right.
black. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Speaking of the whole thing, one of the points that caught the attention of a lot of people, which rightfully should be. And bear in mind, the DJ envy over Sean Kerry. Went to Howard or Hampton, whatever one. I think went to Howard. Nobody, Dr. Umar said that one of the points he made on the show was basically talking about the recent, bless her soul, rest in power, return to us in due time, in the proper time. Definitely the murder of the young lady who called the police and was shot in the chest 4 times, even though she had a knife. Um, one of the points he was making that, look, the cops shot her 4 times in the chest and she's dead. She's passed away now. So, but what that would have happened if she was white,
Right.
and DJ Envy, we gonna get into the term and breaking it down a little bit more, but he says he does not see where it's any different or it's a problem or something to that effect. And he basically outed himself in his coonisticism. He said, well,
Hmm.
call me a coon or I must be a coon, but I don't see it. And, a lot can be unpacked about that. A lot can be thought about that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we need to find the drug, and it can't be prescription because then a lot of people won't be able to afford it. But we
We
gotta
do need
we gotta
something.
yeah we gotta find the drug to combat, you know, coonism. We got to find the drug for that, man. You know, um, the sad thing is, okay, a lot of things can be justified because you can justify just about anything. And
Yeah,
this is the reason why lawyers make money. Okay,
yeah,
you can justify just about anything, but when it's broken down, and honestly and truthfully, I feel like Dr. Umar broke it down eloquently. You and I, we had a show before, and we spoke about it. And I do not condone what she did. And it does not negate the fact of what she did, or the fact that
right,
she literally tried to, or appeared to try to kill somebody in front of a police officer.
right.
Okay,
Nobody said that.
but
Nobody said that she was off the
right,
hook or whatever
but
else it would be.
the fact of the matter is the reactions of the police toward black people
Are
versus
definitely
those toward
inconsistent.
white people is t- totally and completely opposites. It's
Yeah,
180s,
yeah,
complete
yeah.
180s. So when he asked that question, that should have opened the eyes. It should have. You know, it reminds me of the movie Time to Kill with Samuel L. Jackson. You know,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Imagine she was white. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. You can understand these things when you see it in this particular color, but now remove that, put a different color on that, and see how their people would be
are
speaking.
treated.
What do you think would have come out of something like that? First off, it would have never happened. Okay, because they're not gonna just come out and start pulling weapons on these people when they pull up to the lawn. They're not going to, and if they pull a weapon, for the most part, they are going to pull a taser. And those points were actually brought up. Those
Right.
points were
He
brought
did
up.
go into that. He did go into the bullshit. Just I mean, come on. Oh, she thought the gun was a taser and oh, shit. Come on, man. Really? A gun doesn't feel the same way. I have guns. I'm a licensed gun holder. You know, you don't. The gun doesn't feel like a taser. I've felt and dealt with tasers before. The weight is completely different. The weight is
Yeah,
completely different. And then officers
yeah,
keep one, this is what Dr. Umar said, they keep their gun and their taser on the same side typically, so they know which is which. So if you're reaching for
right,
the right or you're reaching for the left. Um,
right. There's two different
and
sides.
he,
Yes,
and he mentioned this. And he mentioned this. He said one is bright yellow. you know, so you're confused. So and she's the final point is she's a supposed 20-year veteran. Of the force. So he brought up all these points, and DJ Envy still, Rashawn Carey still says, "Oh well, call me a coon, or I must be a coon because," which is a whole nother question and statement. But you know, says, "Well, call me a coon, but I don't see it." What?
I I I don't feel that our people who dub themselves, because we're not elected. You understand? Okay, we know that we have something to say. We feel that it's important that the information gets out there, and we put ourselves out there. We're not elected. When you choose to do this,
Right.
you should think about the information that you're disseminating to the people. And
Right.
this is another area where we have problems, especially as it relates to mixtures, because when you're speaking from when you're speaking from either a mixed breed, or when you're speaking from a ethnicity that doesn't identify with the melanated, then you have a tendency to lean more to the oppressor because you don't truly understand the struggle.
Correct. Correct. You started off confused, basically. Your
Yes.
your parents were confused. You to anybody that has their persuasion, which by the way, not saying that people didn't have sex or interact with other races in a sexual way. Bear in mind, if you look at some of the historical aspects of it, it's not typically an African way. You have different scopes and spectrums of colors and types of people within Africa, within the African consciousness and the African DNA stream or structure. So you have millions and billions of combinations. So you could still like Africans of different shades and races, and then these are all natural innate features. But the mixing, I mean, what, what do you? It was illegal for a long time, to be honest. So how come you could control or pick who you love for so long, but all of a sudden, since this law has been struck down, you can't pick or control who you love anymore? Why I just love them. It's this, it's that. And one of his good points, one of the points he made up, he brought up was, show me the rich, super rich or wealthy white woman that's marrying. I didn't say having sex because they are, or procreating. They love the gardener and whoever else it is. They got somebody on staff to handle their business. But he said, show me the rich white woman that's marrying the broke black guy. But Gamba, have you seen it?
No, no, I don't think that we ever will see it, as he said. I mean, let's just be real. And a
Yeah.
point that he made, which is extremely valid, is marriage is not about love. And they said, "Are you don't believe marriage is about love?" He said, "Well, which divorce court have you been in where they said, 'Hey, I gave him 10 years, 20 years of love, and I want my love back'?
Right.
When have
Forget
you
the
ever heard
money.
that?
Don't
I,
want
I
don't
never,
want the
I,
money.
I never heard it. When they're inside, they're arguing over assets. You understand me?
Yeah.
Okay, they are arguing over money. So at the end of the day, it's a business. So if you're going to be with somebody, you need to be intelligent enough, or should be intelligent enough, to think or focus on the financial benefits for you. And that does not mean that you're supposed to be a gold digger. What it is at the end of the day is that, but most females do what? They marry up. You understand what I'm saying? Especially,
Hypergamy
especially the
or
white, especially the
hypergamous,
white
yes.
woman. If she's marrying the black guy, she's marrying up, and that was his point. Okay, you're taking away the affluent and rich black men, those who are
Yeah.
successful or on the way to being very successful. These are the ones that you're taking away. You're not going and grabbing the little gangster from off the street who ain't serving no purpose. Okay, you're grabbing the affluent and rich of the community, which means you're taking away the options from our black women to have a really good black man. But see, this right there goes to the point of a conversation we had before, show we had before about being
Yep.
polygamy, or polygynous. All right, you have the stats that clearly shows that it's more women to men. There's
Yeah.
more there are very, very few successful, um, affluent men, black men, melanated men for our women. So the wise thing to do would be come together, share, build an empire together, in my opinion.
Correct. Yep. Yep. There's a lot of different disseminations on the whole points of what he brought up. All valid, all well thought out, all representing the culture properly. Um, the whole name envy is, like I said, something we don't do. Um, the
Or it wasn't in our culture because we do have people who do that now, but
correct,
that was
so, correct,
taught,
yeah.
that was inbred, that was beaten into it, that was indoctrinated into it.
That's
You
not
know,
us, right?
and put into us by television, but that was never us.
Yeah, that's not our thing because this is not our words. This is the words of the European sailor who was a thief, came to Africa, came to El Kebalan, and went past Abyssinia and so on and so forth. He said that there was no lack, there was no need for anything. The old took care of the young. They all worked in cohesion. They all had unlimited resources of all kinds and all things. So, I mean, the word envy doesn't even exist. And then, you know, we have to inspect that. What is his value to the culture in any regard? At a platform that's at the highest level, that's accepted by most people, does he really represent the culture? Like, does he? No knock to DJs, but you're basically, is he creating stuff? Like the DJ Khaled beat. I'm like, yeah. He created the beat. He made this. He made that.
Right.
Is he really doing that? No, he just playing other people's records and making money off of it. So, we were going to send him to Culinary Islands, but apparently he self-identified himself to go. He volunteered to go, and that's actually kind of sad. He volunteered himself to
So he'll
go
be
to
he'll be
Cancun.
he'll be spring breaking.
He'll be spring breaking in Cancun. Um, yeah, not yeah, just definitely not a what you
Yeah,
want.
I think I see. I feel that with new information, one is supposed to be able to change one's mindset.
Right.
So initially, that might have been a good thing. It might have been a good name, but now you need to understand what that represents, and maybe dissociate yourself from that, or try not to show anything that is going to be kunastic in affiliation with it. It just should be, because as you said, that was never our philosophy. Okay, our philosophy was Ubuntu, and that
Yeah.
could be best described as as an African philosophy that places emphasis on being self through others. It's a form of humanism that can be expressed in the phrases "I am," because of who we all are. That is what we were, and that is what those people met in place when they came. And one of the things that was said, in order to destroy us, they have to destroy how we think. They have to destroy how we live, how we act, live, and bond with each other. Because
Yeah.
if it was to continue, then you can't overthrow these people, because these people are one. So
Yeah.
now we go out of
That's
our way. Now we go out of our way to be against each other. We will, as a people, we will run to try to get to know the new white person next door. But the black one who's been living there for 10, 15 years, we rarely ever said hi.
yeah. Gotta do better. Have to do better. Have to do better. Yeah. So that's one of the things. The one of the most important, one of the most, I wouldn't say important, but most startling things that you see is just the comments that are being said on one individual that's done his work, and that's one of the points he brought up too. He does the work. He travels. He puts himself on the line. He does speak for African people. His points are well thought out. It's not something that he's guessing. He doesn't have any skeletons. He did buy and started a school that he's working on. He did give some points to some of those things. Talked about community and co-op economics and assistance on the show, and how if it was any other group, they would got together and helped. They all came out in droves. But some of these things and all these things, a lot of he said is definitely factual. So it's not something that it's not something that people are accepting, though, because this guy's done the work. He travels, he helps, he assists the culture. He speaks from a point of positive towards the culture. He checks anybody that's not in their boundaries, and people are still upset about interracial marriage and gays. And bear in mind, this stuff is killing you. This is hurting you. You need the black woman and the black man to be together. All the good stuff, the culture, the dance, the way people talk, all the stuff comes from black people. So people are upset about that, and that's disturbing. That's disturbing for people to openly say that, because there are more people that are saying stuff to the opposite of the culture than those that are saying it um, in support. So yeah. On the next note, we just recently found out, and like this platform, the Humblest Opinion, is brought to you simply because we want dialogue. We want dialogue on political parties, Caribbean, African based, find out their thoughts. And like we said, we ascribe nothing other than to see or to find out how these parties intertwine, or how they feel in regards to African and black people issues. Us, Nubians, melanated individuals, Numidian, whatever you want to call us, our issues. So we try to closely see and find out all of our guests, whether they're political or not. We've had political people on this show before. And we continue to have them to come on the platform. So I guess, obviously, we have a smaller following. We thank those that support, but a consistent following nonetheless. That people, and I guess the ideas are growing. The program is growing, definitely by the numbers. But people are watching and hearing. We made an offer to have a debate. And that's the conversations that we were pushing. We reached out to the DNA, somebody came. We reached out to the PLP, they'll be out here soon. We have other individuals that are political analysts, like KCX, that gave and came on and give their opinion, and will come back. But the FNM, the reigning party in the Bahamas, on a debate platform, just recently said no to a debate. I mean, come on. Brother Gamble, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
Listen, man, these people.
These people.
What I am hoping is that more eyes are opening to the blatant hypocrisy, to the blatant coonism of these people that they've been idolizing for so long.
Yeah.
There was the okay, so our platform is not as huge as
It will be.
some
It will
others
be
at this
huge.
point, right?
Yeah.
But we will get there. But
We're
now here it
growing.
is. Now we're speaking about the University of the Bahamas, okay, who is supposed to be teaching and training the minds of the future leaders of the country, wants to hold a debate, okay, with a prestigious professor at its helm. And instead of accepting, they came up with excuses as to why it couldn't happen, comparing themselves to Jamaica and Canada as to this is what happens and these are the rules and listen. There's a first time for everything. This debate is the first time, so there's no need for you to be trying to utilize the platform of other people to try to justify you running away. If I have done well and you want to debate me, if I know what it is that I'm standing on and you want to debate me, I have no problem with anybody coming and doing that.
Right.
All right. Now, I am not an electrician, so we ain't gonna have a debate on electricity, brother, because that's not my area. You
Right.
understand? Okay. But if I've been running government and y'all want to have a debate on that, and we're having elections coming up soon, at some point, and I should be more than willing to start on my platform and show and prove what I've done versus what you didn't do, or what
Right.
what it is that you could, what even those who claim that they want to do something, all right, show it to me and prove to me what you have done to deserve this spot. But for you to deny the people that, you a coward. You just a coward,
That's
in my
pretty much what
opinion.
it is. That's pretty much what it is. That's pretty standard on the belief. It's just a side that, and I know why. I know why. Give it some thought. I thought about it. You have people that are not, I'd say, trained. They're not trained. You have the most prolific numerical stutterer in the history of politics, in the history of anywhere. If you ask her any numbers, you can't call her. Well, hey,
No.
tell us about tell us about tell us about tell us about how much money the government is taking in the funds. Okay, well, the government took in 7 million, 7 cotillion, 7 quadrillion, the million,
Uh-huh.
7-11, 7 heaven. So that one's out. So can't go there. Okay.
No.
You talk about the Minister of Defense or national security, whatever else it is. Who who gets irate and upset when people ask him questions. So what are you suggesting? Completely ignoring the question. You
Listen,
know,
he has to be one of the, if not the most disrespectful
yeah,
politician I have ever seen, because
yeah,
he feels that, he seems to feel that, in my opinion, because he has what people call a little bit of color, he little brown there, you know.
beige,
I
he little
guess he,
beige, she little beige.
yeah,
Him and
yeah,
DJ,
yeah,
him and
yeah, yeah.
DJ Envy.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So he dirty. So he's dirty beige, right? So he's dirty beige, right? And I mean, because he's been, and he got some schooling. I can't say what he placed in these things, because a lot of
On the
people, and this is
government
what
money,
people,
by the way. On the government
right,
money, by the way. The government paying for
yes,
that.
and this is what a lot of people do not understand. Just because someone went to school does not mean they're intelligent. And just because somebody went to school and is acting intelligent does not mean they learned a damn thing, or that they were high in their class. Okay?
Right.
Ask the president of the United States, who lied years before, trying to make it seem like he was in some sort of high percentile when he was like 78th out of 100 students or something like that. Come on, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So
George
so
Bush.
so you're right. Biden as well, my brother Biden as well. Biden,
Yeah.
right? So here it is now. We have somebody who, because he came back with some paperwork, and that's actually why he had a lot of dissension with the force, because when he first came through, he went into training, he was pushed through because of his credentials. He came out in khaki, so he never walked the beat. He never did any real policing. They created an area for him called community policing, right? So he doesn't know what the officers have actually had to go through
Must be
during the course
nice.
of the time. Oh yes. So he
Must be
has no
nice.
idea. Yes, he has no idea of what they had to go through. So now, while he was on the force, he was moved through the ranks, and of course, because you do have to take tests in reference to these things, and he seems to be fairly book smart. So um, there were those who really disliked him while he was there. So when he left to go and deal with the Bahamas situation that did not come through, now he had the opportunity to come back as the minister of. Well, those people who he knew was vibing with him, he started asking them, letting them go. Okay. Pushing people into early retirement, and transferring individuals. Is a lot of vindicting things going on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of victimization, my brother. So he seems to be someone who feels very entitled, you know, and him, as well as other politicians, have come to the point where they have absolutely no respect for you. Why? Because you allow it. Because you have them kiss you allow them to. They didn't really. Some of them try to kiss your hip, depending on who it is that they feel you are in the community prior to the election. And after they
Yeah.
came in, their whole thing is, man, I have 5 years to run this, so I can run this and get filthy, stinking rich. And man, if you all don't like it, man, kiss my hip. And if I don't come
Yeah.
back, then fine. But I already have my million, so the hell with y'all.
Right. Right. And that's a lot of the thought process on it as it relates to debate. If you can't have people getting mad in the debate, and that's all that we've consistently seen. We also, if you're looking at your roster, if you let's just say you were F and M, you're looking at your roster of people who you could pick. You have someone that's going to cry for another country.
Mm-hmm.
Or he gonna look, buddy. The topic was this. The question was here, but you gonna cry over something else. So okay, you got one that gonna cry. You got one who gonna mumble the numbers and can't tell the truth. You have another one who's gonna get upset at the question and not answer the question. You have somebody that might hit you. You ask the question, you might get punched in your eye.
Yeah, yeah, you know,
Yeah. I went no way
and
condoning violence against women, but no, just for the work.
I, yeah, but I mean, hey, but you're just being honest, man. Just being honest,
But
you
if you
know.
just looking at your roster, or hey, these dudes on the team, let me see who. Then you got one who come out and say, "Well, I'm not smart. I just do what I'm told on a piece of paper."
Right, right.
That
You
ain't
know,
really
yeah,
looking
yeah,
that good.
yeah, yeah. You don't,
You
yeah,
can lose that
yeah,
one.
yeah, 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 yeah. The lineup is not, the lineup is not such where you can say we have an all-star team. You
No,
understand
this
me? All right.
that's it.
The best they can do is maybe play junior high or high school ball. They're not
Eh.
they're not the all-star team, my brother. They're just not the all-star team. You know, and mind you, even though they're all equally corrupt, you do have a few more intelligent ones on the other side. So they might feel as if they could win something. But okay, let's take for example though, the leader, the current leader of the opposition. I mean, he just made a a a startling, highly ridiculous
Statement. Yes, he
statement,
did.
the other day when he said, um, and this isn't the first time he said it, right? That he's not aware of any of the people on his team during their time of running the country being a part of anything linked to corruption. Now, after this interview, after this interview, somebody posted online and actually sent information, and posted information about individuals like Fitzgerald. I mean, they didn't even touch Shane Gibson, but like Fitzgerald, um, you know, and others who were clearly found out to be a part of these type of things.
Yeah.
So it's scary. It's scary what you have to deal with, because if you're not going to first and foremost admit to your mistakes, then there's no need to correct anything if you feel like you've done nothing wrong. That means you're
Because
going to
you're perfect.
continue in the same way you did before.
Because you're perfect. Because you're perfect.
Exactly.
So that lineup ain't looking too good. So we get it. Maybe somebody on the team it might wake. We might. I don't know who. We got then you got the next one who um, has the LGBTQ individual that they
Mm-hmm.
constantly party with all the time. If you
Yeah.
ask them a question about that, the populace didn't vote for that. The Bahamian
Right.
population is still out on that. The idea, and which rightfully so. They don't. You can't have this person here. It's just a lot of questionable stuff. Then you can't go to another individual. They was on the two parties. They was actually on
Mm-hmm.
three political parties.
Right.
So you
Yes.
ask them where they stand. They don't know where they stand. They stand over here
Yeah.
and over there and over there. So
Yeah.
the lineup ain't look too good. So I get it. I get it. Now, if y'all want to prove us wrong, hey, you're free. Someone come and bring your opinions here. We can all at the scrutiny. Come and speak on what you feel. So I get it. That's a loss, like they say. That one here might not go as well. So, final thought on this is another on the same note. And FNM, speaking of not knowing any information on corruption, two things that are relative to sitting ministers or former ministers. One, in the Ministry of Terrorism, that Miss Campbell, Miss in her time in power, left actually had her name mysteriously on a check to a law firm that her son and herself owns. Um, you know, but nothing goes deeper than that. Nothing more obvious than that, Brother Gamba.
Not in my opinion.
Yeah, so you caught. We seen you. $1.2 billion in a check from the government to your law firm, which the funds were seized after they're out of power. And then a BMW, a 2019 or 2020 brand new BMW, which they have the gall, which they're upset about. They want that Mercedes or BMW back,
Mm-hmm.
despite it being stolen, despite it being coming from ill-gotten gains. But again,
Mm-hmm.
help me understand what these individuals are thinking. Another individual, there were 7 people arrested for illegally staying. Oh no, 7 or 6. Correct me if I'm wrong. Staying their time in the islands. They overstayed their visa. But the one white person, the one non-melanated individual,
Free to
was
go
let
and stay.
free to
Free to
go
go and stay.
and stay. The other people, you Bahamians, you people, you Haitians, you Jamaicans, you whoever you are, come, you lock up. What again? Help
Pay a
me.
fine.
Yeah,
Pay a fine. If you don't pay the fine, you spend your time in jail. Understand
get
me,
in jail.
I don't have too much problem with the immigration policies. If there's a rule in place that you're supposed to be someplace for a certain period of time,
That's it.
and you decide that you want extra time, then go and try to get it the right way. But I don't stand on you having one rule for one set of people and one rule for the other. That is ridiculous.
Especially
But
in the
what it
Bahamas.
but no, but what it does is it goes to show that the oppressor is still and always in charge. That's the
Yeah.
part we don't understand. Okay? America is nothing more than baby Europe. You understand me? All of them
Right.
descended from Germany. Okay, they only migrated to different places. They're still the same people. So those individuals who you feel are not in charge, they're in charge. We have a country where the queen is the head. The queen is the head. Okay, and because the queen is the head, whatever is going to go on in reference to anything European is never going to be the way that you feel that it would go. Never. You
Because it's not
understand? Never.
yours. It's not your country. It's not for you. But the outright coolness, the outright thieving, stealing, and outright coonery, you know, it is definitely appalling. It's not something that it's not right. It's not equitable in reference because the foreigner who you let go free didn't vote for you to be there. They had no say so in that process. The individuals that represent you and look most like you um, definitely not happy with the inequity of all of it. So It's not fair to treat them like that. And then obviously, if your name is on a check, that is illegal. That's
Well,
double dipping.
well. See, the thing about it is this: I have no idea why the bitch is still free. So
She should go to
that
jail.
right,
Correct.
right. So that boggles my mind. Like, how is it that you are free, and not only free, but have the audacity to come and ask for these things back? But here's why:
She didn't
when you've
ask.
been
She
trained,
demanded. She
listen,
demanded.
listen. When you've been trained by the oppressor, and you've held the position of representing the oppressor, because do not get it twisted, they don't represent the people, they represent the oppressors.
They
They
don't represent me
represent
or you.
they represent the people with the money who are trying to get what they need to get sorted out within the country. That's what they do. So when you've been trained by and you have represented them for a particular period of time, you start to think like them. And since the oppressor does all of this and gets away, okay, you came to somebody's country. You killed them off, brought some other people. Okay?
Right.
You enslaved them. You stole this land. This land is stolen land. You not only beat, rape, and kill them for them to do your bidding. When you finally decide to free their descendants, you charge them rent and taxes to be here.
And give them nothing
So, okay,
to pay it back.
so her thought process is not that far left field if you want to think about it.
Yeah. It is the same thing. It is the same. Your actions match. Your actions match that of the oppressor. Um, it's not it's whimsical. It's funny that these people, outrightly and openly feel that this is the way it should be. Um, yeah, don't think it's right. Um, it's not clear. It's not fair because everybody's not allowed or afforded the same thing. Um, but if you change your mind, you're free. Please send us a representative to come on to the Humblest Opinion. We love to hear you. Stand up to questioning. Make it make sense to us and our viewers that which you feel is going on in your country or in this part of the world. Like Dr. Umar, Joe Biden, we still waiting on you. We still waiting on our black law. We still waiting on our legislation. As a matter of fact, we actually need a little bit more than just one. So one ain't we done a little bit more than just one. We done more work than that deserves just one. So yeah,
I, I think
we
this
gonna need a
dude
little thing.
I think this dude has passed about 400 or so far within the months he's been in, and nothing for
Yeah,
black people. And had the
none for you.
audacity. The Caucasoid said, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
But you ain't do shit for the black people? Are you serious? I
Yeah, it's
mean,
okay.
yeah. This
It's
it's
a game. It gotta be a game.
it boggles the mind, the level of our stupidity. That's all I'm saying.
That will still be following after this stuff and be following up
Mm-hmm.
with this garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you for joining us here on the Humblest Opinion. Thank you for our loyal followers that consistently like and support and share. You can like, support, and share. Follow our sponsors, like, support, and share AB2C Broadcasting, BCAB BTV, and Professional Renaissance Production Services. Um, just have these dialogues, have these conversations, have these thoughts just to make you think. Yeah. Until next time, join us here, myself, Tony Bahama, Malik Gambo on the Humblest Opinion.
See, there we go. I know destination, you never been there before. Oh, no reservation, come on, let's go and explore. If you never know before, well, it's your chance to know.